Hello, everybody, and welcome to Feel Good Friday on Church at Home with Rachel. I hope you've had a really good week, and I hope you've got a great weekend planned. I am going to go with Rob and a bunch of folks from the diocese up to the Anglican Memorial Camp on Riding Mountain this tomorrow. We do the camp cleanup, get it ready for the kids to come to camp this summer. And what makes me feel so great about this is that we do lots of work, we do lots of fundraising, we have a lot of support from the Anglican, the National Church, and from the Council of the North to make sure that our kids get to go to camp even if they can't afford it. So we have tons of kids who come from north and south, and if they can't afford to come to camp, they get to come anyway, which is amazing. So tomorrow I will put on my grubbies and roll up my sleeves and go wash windows and sweep floors and do whatever it is they order the bishop to do. But today, thinking about this past week, we've had a lot of rain, and it reminds me of when I was a kid. We used to sing the sort of little things to help us remember things like if March comes in like a lamb, it'll go out like a lion. If it comes in like a lion, it'll go out like a lamb. Um, April showers bring May flowers. I'm discovering that's an Ontario thing because it seems that in Manitoba, May showers will bring June flowers, I think. But that's something that I'm finding really interesting is this whole thing about rain. We do not have the amount of rain that Vancouver has, or even Halifax when we were out there. But I'm noticing that there has been a lot of rain, not all of it pouring down, a lot of it misting. For those of you who are wondering, our forest fires, I believe, are still raging on. We haven't had enough rain to completely eradicate them. There are several parts of the country in British Columbia, in Alberta, and in Manitoba, probably in Saskatchewan as well, who are dealing with forest fires. So I continue to ask your prayers for all those who live in those places and for all those who are trying hard to fight the fires. I know my cousin works for a company who in the past he flies helicopters. In the past, he has been all over Canada and down to Australia as well, fighting forest fires with his company. So please pray for the safety of all involved in those being saved and those trying to do the saving. Um, but just thinking, when I was a little kid, I loved walking in the rain. When I was about grade 2 or grade 3, I had these big rubber boots and I had this umbrella. It was totally cool. It was kind of shaped like a bell, so it wasn't a flat umbrella. It was like I'd put it over my head and it would cover most of my upper body, and I could see through it. It was clear. It had a dark blue um, line around the bottom that would be sort of around my waist when I was holding it. But all of me was completely dry, and I could walk and I could see the through the the clear plastic. And I loved walking in the rain. I remember when I was in grade 7, 8, grade 8, I think, I was delivering things like the Penny Saver and the Sears catalog. That was my part-time job. Got paid for every one that 2 cents for every flyer that you delivered. You didn't get rich that way. But I remember one Sunday night, I was late. I don't know why I hadn't done my paper route on the weekend, but Saturday night I realized homework's done. I was about to just sort of curl up. It was pouring rain outside. I was going to curl up on the couch and watch something that I like to watch on TV on Sunday nights. And I realized I had to go out and deliver all my flyers. And it was pouring rain. But my mom had bought my sister and I these ponchos, these plastic rain ponchos. This one was like a clear plastic with red stripes. So I threw that on over top of my coat. It was a little cold. And went out and delivered my flyers. And then I just walked around. I went to the park and I sat on a swing and I wandered around the neighborhood and just being out in the rain. I think it was probably this time of year. It was chilly, but it wasn't cold and it wasn't warm. And it wasn't like it had been warm and got chilly. Um, it was just that time of year when the birds are starting to speak again. The buds are starting to pop out. It was just a beautiful evening. And I remember just wandering around thinking at first I remember thinking how lonely it all was because there were a few cars in the road, but for the most part, just me. And then I remember thinking, it's not lonely, it's peaceful. I think that's probably the first time I realized that I was an introvert. I'd never heard of that phrase before. I didn't hear really of it till I was in university. but realizing that I was really getting energy, really being filled up by being out, stomping in puddles, getting soaked, wandering around in the rain. Now, part of that is because I wasn't wearing glasses full time yet. That makes a difference. When you wear glasses all the time, the rain becomes a little bit of a more of a perturbance. But I really enjoyed that, and having sort of being in the rain, and our house is still filled with boxes, and we can't find lamps and things like that, so it tends to be rather dark in the evening. We put on the kitchen light, which throws ambient light into the living room where we sit on the couch and Rob in his chair, and I watch West Wing on my iPad. We got a new TV last night, so maybe that'll help. Um, but realizing the coziness of the rain. And in our condo, we can hear the rain. It's a flat, it's like a house condo, not a building like up and down apartment condo. And we can hear the rain on the roof and on the windows and on the deck. And I love that. There's something so peaceful. We have a gas fireplace that turns on when it's cold, or you can turn on the heat to put the temperature up so that it wants to click on. And when Rob wasn't here yet, I would sit there when it was raining. I would sit beside the fireplace and just sit in my chair and listen to the rain in front of the fire and just feel so warm and cozy. And recognizing that the rain it's such an opportunity. It gives us hope, and as long as it's not these atmospheric rivers that are causing flooding, and right now it's not flooding in the Assiniboine River is not flooding, so that's a good thing. Um, that's the river that runs through Brandon. It allows us the opportunity to slow down. It reminds us of nourishment. It reminds us that that's what we need. Think about our bodies. How much of our body is made up of water? How much of our world, our earth, is water? All of our animals depend on water to some degree or another. There are some animals that are able to go for long periods of time without water, but every living being, every living creature, every living anything that has DNA and breathes of any way, shape, or form needs water. And when we go out in the water, when we walk in the rain, when we go wander through the park, when we allow ourselves to get completely soaked and chilled to the bone and then come home and have that nice hot shower, you get all dried off and make yourself a cup of tea or coffee or something, that is life-giving. It is incredibly life-giving. And so I encourage you, if you are living someplace where there's some rain this weekend and you have some time to really go out and appreciate it, allow yourself to get wet. Don't worry about your glasses getting all streaky. Take them off. Even if you're blind as a bat, sit on your front porch and let yourself get wet. Allow yourself to be nourished. Allow yourself to feel the encouragement that comes with knowing that the very nourishment that God created in the beginning is shared with us so wonderfully. And for those of you who are struggling and going through drought and you don't have water, take advantage of it when it comes. Appreciate it. Don't waste it. Learn to wash the dishes in a way that doesn't just pour water down the drain. Have a good shower, but have a quick shower. Let's take care of this resource that God has given us. And when God gives it to us in abundance outside and allows us the possibilities of playing in it, take advantage of that. We need to just allow ourselves to feel good about the world that we live in and the resources God gives us. So if you have a chance, I'm really hoping tomorrow doesn't rain because it changes the way we clean up the camp if it's raining. But if it is, we'll clean up inside the cabins and we'll do things like that, or we'll just get soaked. No problem there. If you have a chance to go and sing in the rain, go for it. And if you're not able to sing in the rain, turn down your lights, turn on your Netflix or something, and call up Singing in the Rain and allow yourselves to just, it's a great movie, to just think about what it is to kick up your heels, to jump in a puddle, to stand with your tongue out to catch the raindrops, play with your kids, go down to the water and watch the ducks. Allow yourself to celebrate the gift that is the rain. Have a great weekend, everybody. I will see you again on Sunday for for Gospel on the Go and Monday for Church at Home with Rachel. I hope you have a really good weekend. And if it rains, take advantage of it. God bless.